Have you seen that replay, buddy?
All right, man, I'm done talking to you.
You can't be done talking to me right here facing me.
I back. Trust me, I back.
Dana! 60 G's, baby!
But I'm not impressed by your performance.
It's normal. Come on, guys. It's normal.
You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing.
I'm the man of the hour, Joe. Too sweet to be sour. What you see is what you get, and what you don't is better yet. I'm the women's pick. I'm the men's regret. And if you win against Chael Sonnen, you made a bad bet.
I don't have much left to say other than you have seen nothing yet.
What's happening, Fight Week Show 5 fans, Fight Week Show people there? We are back with another episode of Don't Stop Shakedown, and today we are doing a live show with my brother, the one and only Adrian, the son of Thunder Sanchez. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good, man. Nice to be back with you guys. Well, back with you on the show. As always,
yeah,
Fight Week, let's go.
Yeah, man. Come on. Bro, it's been a minute since we've had you on the show. It's been a minute since we've spoken to you. And I know because we have a few topics to cover today. We're going to talk about some of the fights that that was on last night, especially the main and the co-main event. And I wanted to get your take on some of the stuff that's been going on in the combat sport world as well. We're going to play a couple of clips to get your take on those. And on top of that, we have your fight that you've got coming up to prepare for. We're going to talk about all of those things. So people, make sure you're chilling with us. Make sure you're kicking it with us. You know what I mean? If you want to follow anybody that affiliates with the Fight Week Show, make sure you're following X-Dogs MMA, Crossover MMA, The Rambling Dad, MMA Normally, Making the Walk, Head Kick Pod, that's Yao over there in South Africa, and indeed the Fight Week Show. Make sure you're following all those guys. We've got Aggie the Kraken as well. That brother's making waves with PFL over there in South Africa. He's our brother. We rock with him. So please make sure you're following all those guys. That's the one way that you're going to be able to help us out. Right. Before we get this show on the road, Adrian, you've just been through a difficult time because your fight was scheduled for before this difficult time happened, but you've just gone through a difficult time that's kind of altered what you had to do. And this is in the case of what we're talking about is the passing of your dear mom. We know how much your mom meant to you. We've had her on the screen before when you've been live streaming with us before, you know what I mean, with your brother as well in the kitchen. It was, such a lively, vibrant woman. But tell us how that's reshaped what you've had to do, how you're taking in the whole family and everything else, please.
Man, first of all, like you said, my mom, she meant, like, she was very dear to me, and she was like my biggest supporter, when it came to any sport or any kind of, thing that I did. And for those that don't know, like, my mom had a massive over 20-year battle with cancer. She had breast cancer that went to lymph nodes, and then eventually it spread through. And she was in remission a couple of times. It came back a total of 8 times, and eventually it was in her uterus, and then ovaries, or I can't remember exactly. And then it ended up being in her stomach, but not in the actual stomach. It was more like that layer just before that covers the stomach. And eventually she actually succumbed to her sickness. But my mother, if I can remember, she was a proper fighter. A true warrior. Definitely the person that I got my fighting spirit from. And like I said, she was a big supporter of what I did, and she always encouraged me, always motivated me. She was always there to push me and, give me advice on how I should approach things. And just, she was my rock. And she, to have her pass away so close to this big fight, it's a bittersweet moment. I know my mom's at rest, and I know she's with the Lord, and she's in a better place. But at the same time, I would have loved to have had her around to see me, with this next fight and see me win this next fight, because this one is for the championship. And one of the things I asked my mom before she passed on was, you know, if there's anything that I can do for you, or anything you would want to do, what, you know, I can do for you before you pass on, what would it be? And she told me that one of the she mentioned a few things, but one of the things she said was that she wanted me to win a championship. And I obviously, you know, I was excited to tell her and share the news with her that I got the chance to fight for a championship. And, you know, we were all excited, and she obviously believed that I would be a champion, and so on. And unfortunately, the fight, you know, with the swapping and the changing of opponents and rescheduling, it was supposed to happen in November. Then we moved it to December, and then Martin got injured, who was the original opponent. So we tried to find a replacement, which they were looking at having Dante Humphrey coming to the picture. But apparently they weren't happy with the timing of the fight, or we had issues with his camp, so they decided to move the fight to February. And it just happened that the fight was going to take place the day before my mom's birthday. So I promised my mom I'd win that championship for her and bring it home as a birthday present for her. But unfortunately, she passed away on the 9th of December. And yeah, you know, it was a hard moment for our family. But at the same time, you know, it's a relief, because she fought the cancer for so long, and she got to a point where she was tired. You know, she had enough. And I feel if she had decided to carry on fighting, she'd probably still be alive today. And I think the reason she passed on was because she decided that was it. That's enough. It's not that the cancer beat her. She got to a point where she was like, I'm tired, you know, I want to rest. But nevertheless, you know, it's like I said, it's a relief for us. She's at rest now, and I'm still going to go ahead and win that title for her. And yeah, you know, that's one of the things my mom wanted from me, and I will still honor her in that way. So I've got some big motivation, and I've got an extra angel in my corner now watching over me, and she's with me wherever I go. So yeah, man, it's life, you know. You got to take it, and I've learned a lot from it. You know, I always thought I would take it hard, you know, being my mother that passed on. But it taught me a lot about life, and just that there's some things you can change, but then there's some things that happen that you just have to accept. But if there's anything that we can have control over, it's how we react to certain situations. And even, maybe not even, like death is a good example for it, because it's something we can't change. You know, we're all going to face it one day. But how we react to knowing that, and our experiences with it, that's where we have the power. And I mean, that goes to say with anything that we do. I mean, you lose a fight, it's how you react to that loss. You can't change it, but you can always dictate how you're going to react to it. So that's something I learned about it. And yeah, you know, I'll always love my mother. I'll never, ever, ever let go of what she taught me, and I'll go forward and make her proud.
Yeah, man. God rest her soul, man. Yeah. God rest her soul. And you know, we're going to talk about your fight that's coming up in a little while. And I'm for one excited about this fight. We're going to talk about your backer body and put the link in the description, so people that also want to donate to your cause and stuff like that, they can also go and do that over there. Great link up, so you can help our brother Adrian with his camp as he prepares for this very, very important fight. But we have some videos to show you, and I always love getting your takes on this, because you got a sharp tongue, and you don't mind holding back. It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons why I love you, Adrian, man. You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons why I love you, and I want to get your take on some of these situations here, and see. So we go with the first video over here, and yeah, this one is about Nick Diaz. Let's hear it.
Nick Diaz wants to return to the UFC and fight either Islam Makhachev or Khamzat Chimaev. Nick's last fight was against Robbie Lawler back in 2021, where he lost by TKO in the 3rd round. Speaking to Full Violence, Nick said, "I'd like to come back. I could fight at 170 or 185. I'd fight Islam or the other guy, Chimaev. I think I could beat both of them. I could lose too, but I can see myself beating them. It's just about matching up fighters and coming in with the right formula, fighting the right fight.
Adrian, this is Nick Diaz we're talking about, right? And Nick is being gone from the UFC that came back and being gone. And me, as a non-fighter, just a fan of the sport, I can't tell whether it's a delusional thing what Nick Diaz is talking about, or if you think he can actually pull it off, because Nick Diaz is not just talking about just coming back to the UFC to fight. Look at the caliber of fighters he says he wants to come and fight. Please speak on this, Adrian. Please speak on this.
Bruh, in all honesty, I love Nick Diaz. He's a legend of the game. Him and his brother. But he's past his prime now. Like he's past it. Like there's no. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't if Dana White does even has a thought like that. Like I love Nick Diaz, man. He's such a character, and I mean, I admire him. You know, still wanting to stand on business and like I can be champ and like the self belief and so on. But his time is gone, man. The wind's blown. The train has left. You know, the bus is gone. Like he's old. He had his time, you know, and I think he's just trying to stay relevant within the fight game. And if he wants to come back and fight, cool, let him fight. But it's gonna be a guy like Wonder Boy or something, you know.
Right.
I don't think he has. For him to have a run at champion, then we might as well get Jake Paul in and have him fight for a championship for the UFC. You know what I mean? So, with all due respect, I love Nick Diaz. He's a legend, and like back in the day, Strike Force, you know, Pride. He was like, he was a dog. Like back then, champion without a doubt, for sure. But like now, it's nah. To me, it seems like he's that old man sitting around the fire or the braai, as we say here in South Africa, and he's like telling all the youngsters, "Oh, I can still be champion." You know, like I can, you know. But respectfully, no. Nick, sit down. Rather, like he said himself, you know, it's about choosing the right opponent and so on. Then choose the guy that's within your lane. Like the guys that you want to fight are gonna destroy him.
How is Chimaev and Islam Makhachev the right opponent for Nick Diaz at this point?
It's no, not now. These guys are in their prime. They like they'll eat him. They'll eat him. And it's not that Nick Diaz can't fight. It's just it's not his time's passed. It's like sit down, man. Come on, Nick. Let's be realistic here. Like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you would have maybe had like a very slim chance, but now it's done. Like, rather do it just for the fun. Have an exhibition fight or something, like, you know. But his time is done.
Man. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's just the caliber of. Look, I will watch Nick Diaz fight any day of the week. But not against those guys. Not the guys he's talking about. Like, leave Chimaev alone. Leave Makhachev alone.
Think about the people he's got to get through just to get there. You know what I mean?
He's not even asking to be put in the queue. He wants to jump the queue.
Yeah, he wants to jump the queue. Like, bro, you got to earn your spot first. You know the fight game. Like, if it was a charity event and they were like, listen, this doesn't go on your record, and it's like, we'll just see what happens if you fight one of these guys. No belts on the line or anything. Cool, go ahead. Let's see what happens. But nah.
Yeah,
put down the pipe, put down the bomb, just chill out a little bit, bro. Like, go play with it. Rather go, I don't mean to be rude now, but rather go play with the nunchucks again or something, you know. Just leave it's done. Nah.
Yeah, leave the championship things to the guys that's been waiting in the queue and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, 100%. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And look, for me, I love the Diaz brothers, especially look. Nate's more my bag than Nick, but I love Nick the same. But Nate's more my bag, and I look at the way they operate in the sport. A lot of the times these guys get what they want. That's why they can come out and call out names like this, because a lot of the times, especially where the UFC is concerned, they generally get what they want. They get the stipulations they want. If they want to go 3 rounds or 5 rounds, they get it. If they want to turn up to press conferences or not, they get it without punishment. They can turn up to press conferences late. Like Dana gives these guys a lot of allowance during their careers within the UFC. You know,
I mean, they crowd pleasers. They it's like Conor McGregor. Like they're allowed to get away with certain things because the crowd loves them. And and with no doubt, even if let's just say some crazy thing happens where a fight like that, like Chimaev versus Nick Diaz or whatever, that will be a sold out thing to see. You know, but I just don't see him getting a championship.
It's never going to be competitive.
Not that he's a shit fighter or anything because he's good. It's Nick Diaz. I mean, come on. It's just his time's passed, you know.
Yeah, man.
The game's moved on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on swiftly from the topic as well because the game's moved on from Nick Diaz. But we got another one.
Wasn't he? Before you go, wasn't there like a clip of him on the street, like playing with a lighter or something other like that? Like it looked like he was like. You know what I mean? Like the guy was off his rocket. Like
the brother is crazy, man.
So now you look at that, and then you look at him, and you're like, there must be something going on. Like, but anyway,
you know, it's like it's kind of like that Tony Ferguson type of scenario when it was, you know, when he was out there doing the madness.
Well, big up to Tony Ferguson, Misfits champion, man.
Not too bad. I mean,
why doesn't he get involved there? I mean, why doesn't he go and fight Tony Ferguson? That's something.
And you still make big money. You still make big money. Both names carry weight in the combat sport world.
I can tell you now, you probably make more money fighting in that tournament than he did against his last fight with Robbie Lawler. I can tell you that now. 100%.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, man. I got another one here, and this one here is something that is probably more close to home with you in terms of performances and how fighters actually look at officials when it comes to situations like this. Let's hit the clip and get your take on it.
Jorge Masvidal went off on Herb Dean over his stoppage in Benoit Saint Denis versus Dan Hooker.
Oh, who's the referee? Let me guess, Herb Dean? Holy smoke. Girl, what is he waiting for to stop it, bro? Yeah, Herb, sometime today, huh? Yeah, Herb, it's just a fight, you know? No rush. No, yeah, the guy's definitely fighting back intelligent, Herb. Wow. I don't want to take nothing away from St. Denis' performance because amazing, but damn, as I've said my whole career, Herb Dean is the worst referee to ever exist. I mean, bro, does he suck? Holy smokes, is he bad? You know, it's a fighter, especially like Hooker, though he's obviously on his way out, he's not going to quit, he's not going to tap. You got to take that guy out, but he's obviously been in this position for over a minute and a half, and he's eating shots the whole time, from elbows to back fists to the face, getting choked, and then now the guy has obviously no energy because he took all of it to escape the choke. Now he's stuck in that position. He had maybe like 15 unanswered shots and still nothing. Still had another 15 unanswered shots. Worst referee I've seen. It's nothing personal against him because as a human being, I think Herb's a great dude. I've been around him a lot. Great dude. But I'm saying as far as like referee going, I don't know what it is.
I mean, you just heard Masvidal there. This is in a fight between between BSD and Dan Hooker that happened a couple weeks back. And you hear how scathing of Herb Dean, saying he's the worst ref, on the roster and stuff like that. And we've seen criticism of other refs with late stoppages, early stoppages. We understand how difficult a ref's job is, but in your opinion, because like I said, I'm a non-fighter. I don't do what you guys do. You guys are the guys in there. You get locked in there with the ref, and you have to wait for the ref to pull you off an opponent. Yeah, for you to really turn off the switch in your head about killing this guy. But what is it that really that the refs got to do to make sure they get these sort of fights right and not make the fighters take unnecessary damage, especially when you can see that the fighter is not defending himself intelligently anymore, as Masvidal alluded to there?
Look, I think besides, there's two things come to mind now when I think about this. Is one, the ref wants to keep the fight going, to keep it entertaining, right? That's why people came there. People don't want to see an early stoppage. They don't want to be like 1-2 punches and then it's like it's done. Where we've seen that happen in the past. But then again, the referee also needs to keep the fighters safe. So it's that balance between keeping the fight going to allow that entertainment and also to give the fighter a chance to show that they are still in it. But then there's a line, the fine line between them now having to protect the fighter. Of course, they want to give the fighter the fighting chance, but at the same time, it's like this guy's getting his ass whooped and he's taking damage unnecessarily where the fight could have been stopped already.
Yeah.
I do know, me personally, I've met Dean Herb and like Masvidal says, great guy and so on. And I don't think he's the worst referee around. I give him his props and he's been in the game for a long time. People make mistakes and, that's just how it is. But I don't think he's the worst referee around. Although there was that fight with Robbie Lawler that he had stopped and he thought Robbie Lawler was choked out and he wasn't sure and this and that when Robbie Lawler was like, I'm okay. So in that instance, he was more worried about the safety of the fighter than actually allowing the fight to go on. Because in my opinion, Robbie Lawler was out and he may have been going in and out of consciousness. So it was a good decision to stop the fight there. But then again, looking at the fight with Saint-Denis and Dan Hooker, I think he could have maybe stopped the fight a little bit sooner than what he did. But again, it's like it's easy for us to criticize a referee's decision from the sideline, but when you're in the fight, you could see things differently. We might see Dan Hooker getting his ass whooped like he's doing nothing, but Dean Herb could maybe have seen that Dan Hooker was still there, because we can't literally see how their eyes are going, or is he, like they see more detail in it than what we do. But ultimately, it is about the safety of the fighter, especially if you're an older fighter. You're more susceptible to taking damage. And if you look at Dan Hooker nowadays, he's not necessarily the freshest guy around. I think he's on the
plenty of scar tissues as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's like on the verge of like starting like early stages of like being punch drunk or something like that, like he's a bit. So to keep him safe, that's some of the, and I think that yes, we want entertainment for the fighters and the fans, but at the end of the day, I think the safety of the fighter is more important.
Yeah.
But then again, it's just, you gotta like, it's easy for, like I said, it's easy for us to criticize it. But if you're the referee, it's a different thing. I mean, I've been in fights. I mean, that walk-off knockout that I had, I knocked the guy down and the guy was out. That literally, I gave the ref a chance to stop the fight. But then again, we have the mentality, as fighters, we have the mentality that you keep going until the ref tells you to stop. And, that's, in my opinion, the fight could have been stopped before I landed those 3 punches. But then again, it's entertaining for the crowd. The crowd loved it.
I loved it.
But it's at the detriment of the fighter. The fighter's got to pay that. So it's a give and take kind of thing. But I don't think Dean Herb's the worst referee for that decision. I think there's been worse. Who was that one ref? I don't know what his name is. He ref that fight between Dan Henderson and Michael Bisping. I don't know what his name was. And Dana White still gave him a lot of slack and told him he's never going to ref again. I forgot that referee. That's a referee that you can say is a shit referee, because he would stop fights too soon, or he would just let fights go way, like anybody could say. Someone that doesn't even know what fighting's about could say, whoa, that's a bit too much. So it's give and take, man. It's literally give and take.
Man. Big up everybody that's watching us on live, whether you're watching live or on playback. Salute to you. Make sure you on Adrian Sanchez's page. Go and follow his Insta page. He's got a page on Twitter as well. Adrian Rayo Sanchez. You type it up on Instagram, it comes right up, and that's how you're able to follow my guy. You're able to see, all the work he's putting in, all his gym work, and his fight news, everything, so on and so forth. You find it all on his page. Yeah, make sure you go to follow him on there. Salute to everybody that's rocking with us. I got one more video to show Adrian here. before we move on to his upcoming fight, because I do want to talk about that upcoming fight. But let's hear this about DC talking about Jones. And I need to get your take on this one. Let's hear this one.
Daniel Cormier says he doesn't think anybody could have beaten John Jones in his prime.
At his absolute best, is there anybody in UFC history was a better fighter than John Jones?
No.
Not St. Pierre.
No.
Not Anderson.
The truth.
Not Demetrius.
Hey, let me tell you something. People like to say you be hating on John Jones, man. He can beat you. I said, listen, man, and I told you this whenever I did your podcast.
You did.
I was so good when he beat me that second time that if he beat me that time, I don't think nobody could beat him. He was so. Plus, he tall. He got long arms.
84-inch reach.
Yep. He got good knees.
Elbow.
Him and I did that thing together. And we were talking about boxing. And he was like, if we boxed, it would be much harder fight.
Right.
He goes, because I kick Daniel a lot. And I need Daniel a lot.
Right.
And I think that is why, or a thing that people underestimate about him. I don't think in terms of skills, maybe Khabib was as good, but Conor McGregor was real good whenever he was like on his game, not messing up.
Yeah. I mean, John Jones, DC was just talking about him there. He'd been in the octagon with John Jones a couple times, so he is one that's really qualified to talk about John Jones. But when you look up and down the history of the UFC, and let's put everything aside, as they were just alluding in the topic there, is there anyone, skill for skill, skill set for skill set, not weight class or anything? Is there anyone that you think, maybe you know, from how long you've watched the sport, that you think is, if him and John Jones was in the same weight class, they beat John Jones? Or do you think John Jones is absolutely the best?
Prime John Jones, unbeatable. I think he's the best. And if I just thought of it now, if I could give you the top 3 guys of all time in their prime, it's definitely John Jones. John Jones number 1, Khabib number 2, and George St. Pierre is number 3. That would be my 3. And then 4th would be Anderson Silva, definitely.
Incredible.
Or Anderson Silva and then GSP of all time. That's that's top 4, Mount Rushmore, if you want to call it that. That's how I see it. But John Jones, prime John Jones, if you go back and look at his fights, just skill alone, besides like how he's built and his height and his reach and his athletic ability and stuff, the way that he utilized his skills and how crafty he was in that was enough to already put him up there. And to have a former opponent like Daniel Cormier, also I got to give props to Daniel Cormier for being mature enough to say that John Jones is the best. Because the amount of beef there, he'd probably say he's the worst fighter.
For real. That's true.
But for him to put his pride aside and say, look, John Jones is the best fighter. He beat me at my best, and I was even better the second time we fought, and he still beat me, you know. And Daniel Cormier was like, he was the top guy as well, you know.
Yeah.
So I think prime John Jones, 100%. Best MMA fighter there is. And I think he's right when he says that the boxing fight would be even harder because, you know, like I said, he kicked him a lot. He used a lot of other skills. But I think taking away the grappling part, you know, for Daniel Cormier and with John Jones's length and how he can throw his strikes from freaking anywhere, it would be a hard night for him as well. But I agree. John Jones, best fighter, best MMA fighter of all time. Must be.
Yeah,
I have no doubt in that.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. I just think John Jones on any given day, put him in a cage and he will do what John Jones always does and just go out there and make things look
like
easy.
you know when you find someone that's just made for a sport, the build, the mentality, the vision, the athletic ability, like just. Even Anderson Silva, look at Anderson Silva, same thing. He was just built for the game. He He had the mentality to fight. He had the skill and the way he put it all together. And when that guy was in his zone, he was untouchable. And John Jones is just like that. Like, he was made for it. Like, he did wrestling. He tried American football. He did powerlifting, all those other sports. But MMA was the thing that he just naturally fell into. And it was just, he was the best. When he was around, he was the best guy. And I think if he, well, maybe he's a bit old now. I don't know. There could be people that could take him on. But even still, I think he would still dominate 100%.
Yeah, man. Look,
and I'm not and let me tell you something. I'm not a John Jones fanboy, like, at all. I'm looking at this from a fighting perspective, and an objective, and I'm looking at him like putting all of the skills and things up. Like, he's a guy that fighters envy because he has everything that you would want as a fighter. You get some guys that have a few of the aspects of it, but he has all of it. And it makes sense why Dana White loves the guy so much, because he's the perfect fighter. He is. The perfect fighter. It's just, everybody's got their Achilles heel. Everyone's got their downfall. He just wasn't even the cage. It was in his personal life. And it reminds me, I'm serious, and it reminds me of a Mike Tyson. Untouchable in the ring. Everything is going for him, but it's just outside of the ring.
Outside of the ring.
But that's a different topic to discuss. Man. But to answer the question, I do believe that John Jones is the ultimate fighter.
You make a very good point with with your reference to Mike Tyson. It makes sense when you say it like that. Okay, let's shift gears to PFA SA and a couple of studs in that gym that's getting ready to go to war in a week or so. And yourself and our boy Tumelo, who's supposed to be on here tonight, but family issues, daddy duties and stuff, we're not able to have him, but we do have him in the title and the thumbnail. And Adrian here is his teammate. They train together in the same gym. They train under the same coach. Tumelo has been on the Ultimate Fighter, and is come back on the EFC roster now to try and take charge of the 125 division. And you yourself, you're about to take charge of the 155 division. First of all, can you tell the people, so close to the fight now, how the gym is feeling, how they're all pulling together to work towards your goals, and how has your coach been dividing his time with both of you, given how important both of your fights is?
So just for the people out there, we've got 4 guys from our gym. Well, 3 at the moment at our gym, and 1 guy's yet to go to Johannesburg, so he's in between the 2 gyms. So it's myself. I'll be fighting for the lightweight title. Then we've got Tumelo fighting for the flyweight strap, and he's also the finalist in the flyweight Grand Prix that they just had, and he's fighting against Zondi. And then we've got Yassine, who's an up-and-coming talent. He's going for his 4th professional fight now, and he will be undefeated. I think if he wins, he'll be 3-0-1. He had 1 draw. So he'll be 4 fights in a row, and possibly up next for contendership for the featherweight championship, which is also massive. And then the other fighter is Jaden van der Merwe, who is also winning. If he wins this fight, and perhaps then another one, he could also possibly be up there for, I think maybe, the middleweight, or could even be light heavyweight championship. But he's got some work to do. So that's the 4 of us. And the vibe in the gym at the moment at PFA is work. We're all working. We're all pulling together. We're holding each other accountable. We're showing up for training sessions. We're really, really putting in a lot of work. I'm doing like 3 to 4 sessions a day of training, between my conditioning, my skills training, game planning, and then, spending that one-on-one time with Mike, and he's been working with us. Myself and Tumelo have really, obviously because of our title fights, we've been getting a lot of undivided attention from Mike. and obviously he really wants us to do well. And then the other guys, like I said, Jaden, he's currently in Johannesburg at the moment. So he's training under Apex, but still in affiliation with PFA and so on. And then we've got Yassine, obviously, who's also putting in time working with the other coaches, you know. But our sessions together as a team is it's been good. And the chemistry between all of us, and we're all excited, you know, it feels like we're an army coming together, and we're going to go out. And I mean, we're in Cape Town, and we are basically the top guys in Cape Town at the moment.
Yeah.
And not only have we been training together well as a team, but we've also been collaborating with MadFit, which is Don Mad's gym. And we've been helping because he's also got 1 or 2 guys that are going to be competing on the card as well, also up and coming professionals. But what we've been doing is we've been sparring with each other. We've been helping each other out with big sessions. We also have had Faiz Jacobs that's come across to the gym, and he's also been collaborating with us, getting rounds in with us and stuff. So it's nice to see how not only the growth and how tightly knit we've become as a team at PFA, but also how we've integrated the community a lot more. And I owe that all to Mike, because he's really someone that wants to grow the sport. I mean, he's always been for the sport, and he's the one that's been reaching out to others and saying, listen, come to the gym, let's train here, let's do that. And he's been so open and welcoming to having us do this, because, you know, we all need it. And because it's Cape Town versus the rest of the world, we want to be successful. We want to prove to the world that, like, we are the top guys from our country. So it's nice to see how the community is growing and how those relationships are starting to build between the gyms. And it's nice to rub shoulders with champions like Faiz and then, you know, having Tumelo there with his UFC experience and myself there as well with my experience. And they did this promo video where they were saying that I'm something along the lines that I'm leading this new generation of fighters, you know, from Cape Town, which I don't necessarily take the title of leader or anything like that. But it's nice to know that they see me as this experienced guy, one of the senior guys, you know, leading the way. And it's good to have my team there as well, because I want them to do well. And I mean, if myself and Tumelo can pull this off, which I believe we can and we will, PFA is going to have 2 champions, and Cape Town's going to then have four EFC champions, which is Luke Michael, Faiz Jacobs, myself, and Tumelo.
Yeah.
And 2 of them being at the same gym. And I think with myself and Tumelo now winning the belts, Mike will have, I think his record of having champions will go up to 6 that is champion. That's including what's his name now? Don Madge is one of them. I don't know the older guys. He told me the list. Irshad was the other one. We call him the White Tiger, I think it was.
Right.
He was champion. He beat the Mark Penner back in the day. And then myself and Tumelo, and then there's a few other guys, but that was like back in the day. So it just adds more to the recognition that Mike deserves as a coach as well. And it's going to put PFA back on, well, we've always been on the map, but it's really going to boost us, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to coming home with the belt and coming into the gym and having the members and stuff see that, and just, you know, it's proof of hard work and discipline and continued like commitment and determination to make it a success.
100%.
And for me personally, I've been going for this for like 10 years. It's been the goal from day one. Before I even became a professional, I told myself, if I do this, I have to become a champion. And otherwise, I'm not going to do it at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know this, most of the story of my career, you know, with the wins, loss, and then, you know, all the personal struggles that I've had and having to restart my career a few times. And then, you know, all those ups and downs and challenges and trials and tribulations, if you want to call it, to still be in the game. And now I'm finally getting my chance to win. And like I said before, I've experienced everything that a fighter can experience. I just haven't won a championship. And now it's that moment. and I feel like I deserve it. And the guy I'm fighting, his name's Jefferson Pereira. He's from Brazil. His record is 5-1. I believe he's on a 4-fight win streak at the moment. He's from what I've seen, he's a Muay Thai fighter. But I mean, he's from Brazil, so he's going to have some ground game for sure.
Yeah.
I do know that he hasn't competed in almost 2 years, and I think that might be because he started a family and so on. Because I've done a little bit of a dive on him and checked him out and checked his Instagram and so on.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him. We're from the same faith as well. He's a believer in Christ and so on. So I give him that respect. But at the end of the day, we're still going into the cage, and we both have a job to do. And I'm there to win the belt, and I'll fight anybody that I have to. And if it's him, then so be it. And respectfully, bro, I'm taking that belt home with me. And man, it's gonna be a great experience. I can't wait. And I can see myself and Tumelo bringing those belts home. And I've told him what I've been. I don't know how to explain it, but I've told him what's gonna happen, and what I've seen and things that I'm hoping for us. And at the end of the day, we're all brothers. Once we're already all brothers, but I think it's just gonna make that brotherhood. Gonna even make it more
bond.
Of a brotherhood, bond us even more. As a team and as friends and as brothers and as a family. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, man. 100%. Before we get out of here, I just want to thank you for your time. As always, you always show us love, always got time for us. And I appreciate your time every single time, because I know how this period is for you, preparing for a fight, working hard in the gym, trying to cut weight, everything that you have to do. So I can't thank you enough for your time. But before we get you out of here, we know that you're seeking some donations to help you with your camp, to help you, achieve your dreams in the cage. And everything is, does cost money, everything, getting your nutritionist, your coaches, your gym, everything costs money. So tell the people where they can help you, how they can do it, where they can find the link, and we'll also put it in our description below. Please tell the people.
Yeah, so like I've been doing in the last couple of fights is, I've been setting up a crowdfunding account, which is the Back a Buddy campaign. And not only is it going to help me with my fight camp and so on, and go towards the things that I need and medicals and all the nutrition and the rehab, going for massages and the recovery and all of that. But it's also one of the main reasons why I've done it is just to allow the fans and my supporters to be a part of the journey. It's not that I'm desperate for the money. I mean, I can always figure something out, but it's more of a way for my supporters to be a part of it. Because people always ask me, hey, how can I help you? Yeah, how can I, and most people are like, I don't want anything out of it. I just want to be a help and this and that. I want to see you succeed. Well, this is the way to do it. Yep. And I humbly accept it, and I really appreciate everyone that has helped me and supported me. And if you want to be a part of the journey and you want to assist and help me in any way, you can find the link in my bio on my Instagram account, which is at Rayo RAYO 9201. You can go there. You can give me a follow. You can Ola said, all my updates and everything from my fights are there. And you can find the link in the bio to go and make the donation. It's very simple, very easy. You just follow the link and click on donate, and you follow the prompts there, and it will go through. If you have any issues, you can message me, and I will help you where I can. And then also for those that are in Cape Town and that want to come and see the fight, the link to buy tickets is there as well. But I honestly think that the show is pretty much sold out now. So you're going to be lucky if you can find some tickets. Yeah. But if you want to go check it out, it's also there in my bio. And then obviously Facebook and all the other platforms are there as well. And I share everything there. So if you want to help, you can go out and check it out.
So people, make sure that you go and check out those pages on Facebook, on Instagram. You know, we're gonna have his description. His link in our description for the backer body and for all his socials. They're all gonna be in the description below. Once we get this wrapped up. And hey, Son of Thunder.
Yeah,
bro, there's nothing more than I wish for you to see you with the strap, with the championship on your shoulder, man. You know, when this fight, because I'm going to be watching the fight. I'm going to be watching the fight live. I'm probably going to reach out to you straight away as soon as it happens. But there's nothing more that, because I've been there watching. I've seen the ups and downs that you've been through. You know, coming up through your career, and this is, you're now at the pinnacle of what you set out to do. And you know,
I just want to, before we shut up, you know, I just want to say, you know, shout out to the fight week and Ola and the rest of the gang. Like, I really, really appreciate all your support and all your encouragement, and you know, the backing that you guys have given me. You know, I've never experienced it from any kind of like social media or any kind of platform as which you guys have. So I really, 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 like, it means a lot to me. I always say I appreciate you. It's something I always say, but I do mean it. And when we do see each other again, I'm gonna have that belt right there.
Oh,
and I'm gonna sit here with it.
Nothing will please me more. Nothing will please me more.
And and just like knowing that you guys have been there from the early days, you know, when I started to really get some momentum. You know, like you said, with the ups and downs, and like the fact that you guys never like were like, he's gone, you know, whatever. You guys stuck with me and you supported me, and you guys have had that belief in me that not many people have, besides those that are in my inner circle. So I appreciate and I love all you guys, man. That means a lot.
Yeah, man, that means a lot, and that's why we do it, because you know you're good people, man. You know what I mean? You're a good brother, and we just want to support your career, and we just love you as a person, man. Because it's one thing. It's one thing to do what you do in the cage and be a douchebag, but out of the cage you're a good brother, man, and it's one of the things we like about you.
To add to that, like, I believe, you know, your achievements and your accolades and stuff mean nothing if you don't have the character to match, you know. And I believe that those that are given this opportunity or are called to a place of influence should use it for the right things. And if there's anything that you can do in your life or anything that you can be, it's to be responsible for that. And not saying that I'm some influential person or whatever, but I do. But there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of moments where people are inspired. And if you can inspire them to do something great, or to chase after something, or to just change their ways, then to doing good, or to influence them into doing something good, or inspire them, then you're winning. I mean, what's his name? Kobe Bryant. One of the things he said, and I must quote him, but he said that the biggest goal or the biggest achievement that you can do as a human is to inspire others to be great, or to inspire them to do something. And if you're doing that and you're doing it for the good, then you're on the right track, you know. And at the end of the day, it's not about our own glory. Yes, we want to win and we want to achieve things, which is great. We need to have that in our life. But it's about the next person, and always putting the other person before you and ensuring that they are good and that they're happy, and that you can lift their spirits when needed, you know. I think that's more important. So belts 100%. And wins and all that stuff mean nothing if you're like you say, you're a douchebag. Yeah, you know, you got to have the character to match.
So,
yeah.
And people, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you to everybody that's been rocking with us. We've got another one planned right after this. Make sure you hang around with us. Big up to everybody. This has been Adrian Sanchez, and we are going to be supporting you for your upcoming fight. And hopefully, after the fight, we're able to bring you back on the channel and we're going to break down everything, how the fight went,
Not
and
hopefully,
everything else. Definitely. There you go. Definitely. There you go. 100%. All right, people. Bro. Salute to everybody that's been with us. Big up yourself. And up onto the next video. Hasta la vista. We're out. Salute. Big up.
Hey guys, this is John Anik from the UFC. You're watching the Fight Week Show. Please subscribe. Not now, but right now. Subscribe to the Fight Week Show. We'll see you guys on the road soon.